Hello everyone, and welcome to batch 214 in the freeze dryer. I did an approximately 20-pound turkey. I baked it and got 1 tray of dark meat and 3 trays of white meat. So you get very little dark meat out of a turkey. We didn't eat any of it. I cooked the turkey because I got it on sale. It was frozen since Thanksgiving, or was it Christmas? And then I finally got around to cooking it and just freeze-dried the entire thing. You can see it just looks like regular turkey. And it is. It's regular turkey, except it's a lot lighter. I'll show you how much lighter in a second. This is the equivalent of 3 ounces of turkey, and once it's freeze-dried, it's 25 grams. And how do I know what it weighs, or what it would weigh? So I haven't weighed the dark meat yet, but I will. I had 1 pound and 14 ounces of dark meat, and 3 trays each had 1 pound, 5.5 ounces of white meat. The 2 trays that I weighed already, gram-wise, after it was freeze-dried, only weighed 186 and 184 grams. So, since it's 186 grams, and I know that the beginning weight of the turkey was 21.5 ounces, and then I know I want to put them in 8-ounce Mylar bags, I just take the 21.5 ounces, divide it by 8, and come up with 2.6875. So I just want to take that same 186 grams, divide by 2.6875, and it comes up with 69.2 grams. So when the freeze-dried turkey weighs 69.2 grams, I know that that's the equivalent of 8 ounces. So that's how I know 25 grams is 3 ounces. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put them in my favorite bags here. These are the bags that I get from Pleasant Grove Farm I forget the name of the town, but they come from North Carolina. And I just ordered a bunch of them. They were out of them, and I was starting to panic because they didn't come in when they were supposed to, and I wasn't able to order them, and they came in, so I ordered quite a large box of those. And that's it. That's how I'm doing them. Now, this batch of turkey in the freeze dryer ran for 47 hours and 10 minutes, and you know I always add time. This time I only had to add 3 hours and 35 minutes, and this turkey really only needed 43 hours and 45 minutes to totally freeze dry, and it may have actually needed a little bit less than that, but if you look over here, and I've been showing this a few different times, you can do a custom freeze and dry cycle. So I do the standard 9-hour freeze, but I just automatically in the beginning go ahead and put a 24-hour dry cycle on that because I know I always add time. And I did add some time just because we had some running to do today, and I probably would have added more time because I have a big day tomorrow, but let me tell you why I didn't. We feed our dogs raw food, and we belong to a co-op, so every 6 weeks we pick up frozen dog food. And we picked it up, and we filled our freezer. I ordered way too much. We have like 440 pounds of dog food in 5-pound tubes, but we also ended up with a 40-pound box of human-grade chicken that was freeze-dried. So since it's freeze-dried, you get it, obviously. You just want to give it to your dogs. However, I only had to pay $10 for that. And let me show you what some of that looks like. This is the chicken, and it was ground. It was destined to become baby food, but it was freezer burned, so they couldn't use it for the baby food. So that's some of it, actually, that I'm going to end up freeze drying. And this is the rest of it. This is the 40 pounds, 40-pound box. It comes in a big wax-covered cardboard box. It's surprising how much food just ships like that from a plant to another plant that's going to use it for something else. But it was no longer fit for human consumption because of the freeze burning on it. And this is how my dog food normally comes. These, I would never normally have this much dog food thawing in my fridge. I go through one of these a day for my big dogs. That's a 5-pound tube. But I ran out of space in the freezer that we have just for dog food, and I ran out of space in this regular normal sized freezer. It's full of dog food also. And there that is up there. I had to actually squeeze our hamburger patties in there. Those are our hamburger patties right there and there. We took everything else out, and we're going to cook a lot of meat to eat during the week that we had in here. And then this is some tripe that we get for the dogs as well. The rest of this is their food. So yeah, I did buy extra to freeze dry. I just didn't realize how much extra I bought. And then when I saw this for $10 for the dogs, I just had to go ahead and buy that. And I trust the supplier that we get these things from, and they've never steered us wrong on these. So the dogs are going to get some chicken and mixed in with this is a balanced food. This isn't. So if you've seen my videos before where I make a veggie mix for the dogs, that is for when I do something like this, which is they're just getting chicken. This has chicken and beef mixed in with their omegas that they need, and a lot of extra. Oh, I see this one has turkey in it and some salmon. But yeah, that's it. That's this batch in the freeze dryer, and then this is the next batch right there. And I actually think that I may end up I could have canned some of this because there aren't any bones in it. This shouldn't be cooked, or if it is, it's just very lightly cooked. But this right here I could actually cook because there are no bones in it, because it was human grade. So the only thing in there is chicken. So even though I have a whole nother turkey to freeze dry, I'm not going to get around to that. I'm just going to let that, it's still frozen, so I'm going to thaw the turkey in the fridge, or no, probably not in the fridge. I'm going to thaw it in the sink full of water overnight. I'll bake it tomorrow, and then by that time, the ground chicken that I got for the dogs will be done freeze drying, because that really shouldn't take long at all. So right here is the address. I said I got it from Pleasant Grove Farm in North Carolina. I couldn't remember the city, but it's Youngsville, North Carolina, and you can find this site at topmylar.com. And since we've learned a lot lately that you need to stay stocked up on things you use all the time, I went ahead and bought a case of the bags. I'll show you what the case looks like in a second. And the total for that was $2.45, and they do ship free over a certain amount, I believe. I'm not real sure what you have to buy, how much. But right there's the size of the box. It's sitting on my little chair, and let me just show you, this is what they're packed like. I usually like these, though. I see that this case doesn't come like I normally get them, but I've never gotten a case from them before. And I don't know if it's because I got a case or because maybe they've changed how they package their things. They're tied off, it looks like, in a bundle of maybe 25-ish. But normally they come in a plastic pouch. So this might be something they're doing when they get them in. I'm not real sure if they make them or if they order them from somewhere else and then just repack them. But right there looks to be, says it has, this is what their outside label looks like. Foil pouch, 812, the materials PET, L, and PE. There's the size, and there looks to be 800 in the case. So that's about it for this video, but this was batch 214. It was turkey, and if you stayed this late, here's your bonus. My husband just got back in. He had a doctor's appointment, and so he needed something that he had to get. So he went over to pick it up, and it was in the HBA section. And then he thought, you know, since I'm here, I'm going to look to see if they have any hand sanitizer. And he asked for hand sanitizer, and they said, oh, no, not until the 19th. So he looked for some sanitizing wipes. They were out of those. The only thing they have are baby wipes. They also had no bottles of alcohol, and he walked down the toilet paper aisle because he watches my videos too, and he knows how the One Sam's Club was totally out of toilet paper, and the woman told him no, it was crazy. They got a truck in with 8,000 cases of toilet paper last night, and within 24 hours, every bit of that toilet paper sold out. Also, all the peroxide is gone. And then he walked down the water aisle. So when he walked down the water aisle, he wanted his Deer Park spring water, and he said the only water they had available at Walmart was Aquafina. And if you remember in my Sam's Club video, they did have some Aquafina. They were running low, but he said nobody likes Aquafina, but it's actually my preferred water if you're going to drink bottled water. And he said that they had great value brand of purified water. But here's something I haven't seen before. He said that at Walmart, they actually had Sam's Club water. So maybe the company, who does share a lot of the same items, is actually saying, hey, I don't care. That's what they need. That's where they need it. That's what they're getting. So who knows? And then last but not least, I showed you my video on using Odoban, or I told you about it in one of the videos, as, you know, instead of Lysol, using the Odoban as a disinfectant, because you can mix it to be a virucide. Right there's the product that I'm talking about. That's a 1 gallon mix. And right there are the directions for the virucide. So we don't need any of this, but he cleans up his workstation at work because nobody else just does. And he's always been a rather bit of a germaphobe. So he likes the spray Lysol, because if I mix it up at home, I'm usually putting it in the spray pump. And, you know, if it falls over at work or lays down, I just had this one laying down for a second, and it already leaks out the top. So he can't have that leaking all over the place at work. So it has to be, you know, in a container, and it's easier for him to carry like that anyway. But if you're so inclined, go ahead and look up those ingredients. Here's a well, you can't see it because it's just too small. The ingredients in this one are dimethyl benzyl ammonium chloride. It has 2 numbers, and the one on top is the C14, C12. I don't know. Just look them up. They're pretty much the same ingredients, and they all, you know, they're going to kill the same thing. They're going to work the same way. But there were 6 of those left on the shelf, and he grabbed 3. He's like that. He'll never take the last of anything. If there was 1, he'd take 1. If there were 2, he'd probably take 1, unless he was picking up 1 for somebody else. And if there were 3, he might take 1 or 2. But yeah, he's always going to leave something for someone else. And when he said about the wipes, I told him we don't need wipes. We have wipes, and then I can continue to make germ wipes if I want to out of the paper towels, and then we can actually just put those in a plastic bag for him to take to work if he wants to do that. So that's it. That's batch 214 in the freeze dryer. And the little bonus, because my husband just walked in the door, is finish up the video. So let me know what it's like in your area. If you can, and let me know what you prepped today and what you think of the freeze-dried turkey and all that stinking dog food. Be blessed, everyone.